Hola amigos, today we're going to jump right into el imperfecto, or in English, the imperfect tense. This is another way we have to talk about the past. If you're already freaking out because you know that we use the preterite, by the way, totally the first blank you have to fill in, we use the preterite to talk about completed actions in the past, and where is this lady getting a whole new way to talk in the past? Stop freaking out, I'm going to totally explain it all. But for right now, I need you to accept in your heart that we use the imperfect, second blank, to talk about ongoing past actions, repeated actions, and long-standing situations. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, what? Ongoing? Repeated? Huh? Let me explain it to you, and this is a great time to fill out your example because we're going to do an example in English. An example of an ongoing or repeated action would be saying something like, as a child, I liked to ride roller coasters. Look at this guy. He's having so much fun. He doesn't like to ride them just one time. He liked to ride them again and again and again, or he liked to ride them on multiple occasions, right? So that's all we're talking about here. Let's move on to how we actually make it. The good news is forming the imperfect tense is crazy easy. Super fácil. You're going to love it. The first thing we're going to do is just talk about our AR verbs, our verbs that end in AR. Now, just like any other time you conjugate, you take out that AR and you add a whole new ending. For yo, you're going to add ABA, A-B-A. So take a second, flip to page 6 for me, and look at the example I'm giving you with hablar. How would we change it to say, I talked? It's going to be really fun to say. Are you thinking about it? You're right, it's going to be hablaba. Awesome. If that's confusing you, you can just take that out for now. We'll get to that example later. But let's think about our to ending. Predict, what do all of our to endings end with? If you said S, you're right. So you talked would actually be hablabas. He or she is going to be exactly the same as yo, it's aba. Nosotros is fun to say. Habamos. A with an accent, B-A-M-O-S. So again, think about and say it out loud because you're going to like it. How would we say we talked? It would be hablábamos. Awesome. So much fun. Okay. Habáis for vosotros and haban. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Now, you just wrote those endings on page 5 where it says AR verbs, but I do want you to go to page 6 and do the examples with hablar. Take a chance. I'm going to put them on the next slide, but I want you to pause it here and actually try it on your own first. Okay, were you right? Do you have hablaba, hablabas, hablaba, hablábamos, hablabais, hablaban? That's not an accent, by the way. Don't think it is. Then that's awesome. Way to go. Pretty easy. Abba, abas, abba. I think we should come up with a song about it. What do you think? Okay, here we go then. Let's go back to page 5 with our ER and IR verbs. Their endings are the same, whether their ending is ER or whether it's IR. And they're going to go ia for yo. So that means if you wanted to say I ate, you'd say comía. Done. Fabuloso. The to ending is ias. L-A usted, ia again. Just like before, the yo is going to be the same as the he, she, the L-ea. Nosotros íamos. Vosotros íais. Ellos ian. Not terrible. Those aren't T's, by the way. Those are I's. They're just really huge accent marks so that you notice them. Okay. So, go back to page 6. We're going to do comer y vivir. I'm only going to do comer with you, but I'm going to ask you to pause it again. Take a second. Write out comer. I don't think you're going to struggle with it. Hang on. Okay, you've paused it, right? But no doubt you came up with comía, comías, comía, comíamos, comíais, and comían. Fabulous. I love it. Okay, at this point, you're going to do vivir on your own, and I'm going to check that for you when I come around in class. So, on your own, so you're going to do vivir on your own, which of course you know means to live. Kind of important, no? Okay, pause me, do vivir, come back to me when you're done. Okay, now you're going to skip ahead in your paquete to página 9. And these are the 3 irregular imperfect verbs. Only 3. How awesome is that? And some of them are going to become so second nature to you. Super, super easy. So, on page 9, you see ir, ser, and ver. To go, to be, to see. Not too bad. Let's start with ir. To say, I went repeatedly in the past, we're going to say, iba. I'm willing to bet that you can predict the rest of them from here on out, but just in case. Ibas, you went. He or she went, iba. We went, íbamos. Y'all went, ibais. They went, iban. Not too horrible. You ready to move on? If I went too fast, if you didn't copy it, pause it, but we're going to move on to ser, to be. Now, this one, you're going to do some starting because these are the most useful verbs you will have. You will use these all the time. To say, I was, when you were talking about yourself in the past over repeated instances or also over an extended period of time, you're going to use era. You might have even picked that out in class. Era. Put a star next to it. Put a smiley face. Indicate that this is important. Maybe you even want to highlight it. But era. I was. You're going to use that all the time. You were, or like how were you, como eras, is the to form. He or she was, totally right, exactly the same as the yo, era, éramos, erais, eran. It doesn't look anything like ser, but trust me on it, I'm right. Okay, last one. As far as irregular verbs go here, ver, to see, not so bad. To say I saw, veía. That's it. You just keep that extra E instead of taking it off. Not horrible. Veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, and veían. Wait, I got that right. I thought I messed it up. That's it. Those are your irregulars. But stop. Don't turn me off. You have one thing to do. We are going to do some practice. So I want you to go back in your paquete to página 7. I'm not even going to make you do all that much. You're going to do that first activity at the top, números 1 hasta 8, numbers 1 through 8. If you do not have those done, you do not have your homework done, and I won't give you credit. So please get those done. It'll take you all of 30 seconds. Okay, hasta mañana.